Hello, and welcome to another COVID edition of Hacking with Friends. My name is Cody Kinsey. I am a security researcher at Varonis, and I have not gotten very much sleep over the last couple days, but I'm going to attempt to host the stream as best I can. Obviously, the news section is canceled as I cannot remember most things, but I am going to be going over the Hope Conference, talking a little bit about what went down there, aside from getting sick. And I think I'm not going to say it was worth it, but it was still a really great experience. And my only regret is being incredibly sick now with a splitting headache. And then yesterday I had an incredibly high fever as well. I remember at some point getting a bunch of texts and like thinking that they were from a different person. And then finding out later they weren't. Like just all sorts of stuff happened yesterday. So anyway, if you've been sick with COVID, this is probably nothing new, but this is actually my first time. I had an underlying condition that I am very, very kind of cautious about to make sure that I don't expose myself to COVID unnecessarily. And I've actually gone this long without getting sick before from COVID. So kind of bittersweet as I think I'm probably in like some pretty good percentile at this point. But either way, I am recovering. I do feel better today than I did yesterday, but that would be hard not to. Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Hope Conference. We're also going to talk a little bit about, no, that's it. I'm going to complain about Twitter, or I guess X. So let me turn this on. So if you're noticing that we are not on the normal amount of channels today, it's because there is a new requirement. This is so small. Sorry, let me make this larger. Oh, and also we have a time crunch today. So this is the fun part. So you might not know this, but our live stream relies on two critical cables, which if they are not available, then the stream is going to look crazy. So one of them is a super long Thunderbolt cable, the fancy USB Type-C cable that allows me to stream directly from the Canon camera without a capture card. Missing today. Instead, I have this very short one, which is why you are so up in my face today. And then also there's a fake battery. Canon did not think to make it so you could stream and also charge the camera. So as a result, we are on a slowly counting down battery, which I've already used for many other things. So don't know where those pieces of equipment went, but I got tired after looking for them for about 10 minutes. So here we are. So if the stream randomly cuts out video-wise, please let me know, and I will bring myself back on this on the MacBook display. Anyway, hello to everybody in the stream. James, Funky Monk, Lazzy. And yes, I would recommend putting on a mask for the stream just for the vibes. You know, that's how I've been living my life. I've come to accept it. It feels almost nostalgic at this point. Like I'm going through this when everybody else is like over it. It's like I'm watching a TV show that like everybody else like, you know, was really into. It's like I've just really got into Game of Thrones all of a sudden. And like, I want to talk about it really bad. I don't know. So I was actually saving watching Game of Thrones for COVID, but I was too sick to come anywhere near watching it. So I guess I'll have to watch it after. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, we no longer can stream on Twitter without paying. So X has now maybe run into some hard times. I'm not really sure, but they have actively restricted our ability to stream onto my Twitter account, which I've been building over a long period of time. So I've already been trying to post more on Mastodon lately, but this was a surprise. Like maybe they are really hard up for cash if they need to squeeze content creators, because there was some sort of like thing where like content creators were supposed to make money somehow from this whole deal, and I don't really know what happened to that. But yeah, I do not appreciate this, and I don't think that Twitter has been, or X rather, has been a very good platform for content creators for a while. We've continued to stream there because it's free and because, you know, I have a number of followers there. But yeah, so I posted on Twitter X that you should that you should catch a stream on the YouTube channel. But yeah, all right. So I'm gonna show off. I should tweet Elon Musk and complain. I just don't want the attention, you know? Like, as much as I would love to get to carrot my way out of this and be like, excuse me, Mr. Manager of Twitter / X, fix this immediately or I will be very displeased. I think, you know, I don't think he would respect me very much. I don't know that the customer service is up to snuff for that. Yes, I have the original Covis. I also took one of those fancy tests that tests for influenza A, B, and then I went to an urgent care place and got tested for strep. Ironically, my first COVID test at the urgent care place came back negative, but then I subsequently tested very angry positive on I think it was Sunday. Um, so at first I was just like, okay, well, this isn't so bad. Like I got the Paxlovid, which by the way, if you haven't taken it, tastes like dirty pennies every day in the back of your throat. You get most of the symptoms, maybe a tiny bit less severe at first, but then when you stop taking it, you get a rebound, which is what I had yesterday, which is why I had a severe fever. But anyway, so I've been having the taste of dirty pennies in the back of my throat. I won't go through the whole list because I'm sure you all have your own like private like list of horrible symptoms that you've discovered and went through, which shall always remain private. But yes, overall, the first day I thought things weren't going to be so bad. I also found at a Goodwill this joystick attack simulator kind of, sorry, the Attack 3. And I was like, cool, I'll learn to pilot a plane while I'm done. I would do no such thing. It immediately made me throw up. It turns out I got the variety of COVID that also comes with a lot of nausea. So any attempt to do anything has just made me very sick. Anyway, yes. So let's go on to talking about hope. So first off, I want to just talk about New York and some of the just general vibes. So never had Paxlovid. Yeah. So apparently it's all the rage, but the side effect is very, very dirty penny taste, like not clean pennies. This is like a very dirty, gross penny taste. And then also some people reported it tasted like garbage water at the bottom of a trash bag. Why you would taste that and know the taste, I don't know. I can only say that having, I guess, chewed on some dirty pennies as a kid, I knew exactly what the taste was like, and it was very gross. Hello, 8-Bit Oni. See, I mostly just wanted to come back and chat with all of you about hope before it got too distant. And then, yeah, I am. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so let's one thing I want to show off is this bodega cat. It was a little bit gross, but that's okay. And also the massive mountains of garbage. That's just the general setting that this took place in. We were in Queens, New York, lots of bodega cats, lots of garbage. But the conference itself was super fun. We created something called the Nugget Service Agency, or the NSA, and we ran a total of, I think, 7 workshops over the course of the conference. That allowed us to meet, I think, upwards of 160 individual people. So meeting people at a conference is hard. Like, unless you do like a big event at your booth or something, then it's really difficult to kind of get people to come by and talk to you. By teaching things that are really exciting and cool and interesting, we managed to meet a ton of people, and some of them brought some really awesome stuff. So one of them was this, a cyber deck that was, the origin story on this computer was murky. He said a criminal gave it to him, and I don't not believe it. But this was my favorite cyber deck of the entire conference. This was during our Meshtastic meetup where we were talking about encrypted mesh networking. Everybody got it set up and working, and seeing it running on this really cool little cyber deck was really incredible. Yeah, I have been doing okay. Yeah, sorry for not streaming. We were at the Hope Conference the week before, and then I have been very, very, very sick this week. And then that thing happened that I will not mention, but you know how all the computers had that problem last week? I did not fly that day because of all those computer problems. So not going to get into that one on the stream, but yeah, it's been a chaotic week for sure. So the probably like best class that we did was this cute Pusheen class. Okay, so I got to show this one off. I'm getting like full volume on this, but okay. So this was a soldering class where people got to put together their own smart Pusheen where they could control it over their phone and make it so that they could play animations on it. We basically took like the standard kind of little like baby toy you would see where you like boop it and it changes color, and made it so that it's a Wi-Fi controllable smart device that you can use for all sorts of cool stuff. So there was quite the rage for these. Like a lot of people thought they were incredibly cute. A lot of people really wanted to build them, so much so that our first class was completely taken over by a Qatari ROTC like class of like 25 people. So that caused a bit of a disruption. We had to do this class twice. It was so popular. So for DEF CON, we know to bring plenty of these. We're calling them Pursheens, a legally distinct Pusheen-like character. Ugh, why do you do this, Bitwarden? Okay. So another rare delight that we got at the conference was these little drones, which you can kind of toss up and they blink and fly around. Someone was giving them out and gave us one, which was pretty cool. And I'm going to be doing some hacker related stuff like mounting things on these little flying balls. We did our, oops, we did our Meow Mixer workshop. So this was a success. Nobody burned themselves. Nobody actually had any real problems. There's always some scares on this one where people solder it together a little wonky, and this one was done intentionally so, but this was really cool. We got everybody together. We got to talk about people's love for electronics. A lot of people were trying soldering for the first time, so it attracted a lot of beginners at the conference, which was great because then they ended up taking a bunch of our other more advanced classes once they felt a little bit encouraged. So this was our crazy schedule. On day one, we had solder your own Wi-Fi hacking tool, which we then used for our subsequent classes to teach. We had learn bad USB hacking with the USB Nugget, and then a prototype class that I made for the very first time for this conference called LoRa for Beginners, Long Range Hacking for Beginners with CircuitPython. So this class went really well. We got a lot of people together who had never worked with LoRa before, and we taught them how to use CircuitPython to write their own programs to broadcast whatever they want, basically, which was really cool. So yeah, I was really pleased with this one. Considering it was my first time debuting this class, I thought that it went very well. It was sold out, and everybody was transmitting by the end of it, so I consider that good. On day two, we had learn beginner soldering with the Meow Mixer, as I just mentioned, Wi-Fi hacking, self-defense. This was a really big draw. And then a lot of people stuck around for Wi-Fi hacker hunting, revealing hidden cameras and detecting hacker tools. So that was great. A lot of people are concerned, with their own Wi-Fi self-defense. And both of these classes were sold out for seats. It was great. It was really cool. We met so many people. And then finally on Sunday, we did our Pusheen class, which we had to run twice because it was so popular. And people were getting a little mad, but that's okay. I understand it's a time commitment to do these things. And then finally, we did our Meshtastic meetup, and that was another one of our prototype classes, also quite full, and a lot of really cool and interesting people showed up to that one as well. Let's see. All right, so this was from the Meshtastic meetup. This was receiving packets and waiting for the students to send their very first ones. It was cool. I feel like we had some people that were affiliated with Adafruit. Oh my gosh, okay. Who are based in New York that were at the conference. So it was really cool to be able to teach a little bit with an Adafruit supported language and get some beginners to see the advantage of this ecosystem they'd set up. So kind of a good way for us to meet Adafruit. Also, this was me preparing for my talk, which was crazy, by the way. So my friend Nick, oh, by the way, here is a couple shots from the bad USB class. We had our own little tent area. We managed basically the space ourselves. It was very stressful to do that. We'd never done it before, but it was quite a challenge to get everybody accommodated and make sure everybody could take all the classes that they wanted to. But we got it done. It was really cool. So I gave my friend Nick a donut or something to tell me where my talk at this lovely conference was going to be that I'm preparing for in this picture. He led me to the absolute wrong spot. So the person before me, I thought, was taking like an exceptionally long time to finish. They were just meandering and they're like, oh, it's just a DJ after this. And it slowly dawned on me that I was in the complete wrong place for my talk. My friend had gladly taken the donut and then, I think it was a waffle. It feels like it's been a year since then already, between the headache and the brain fog. But so I was in the complete wrong building. The person who volunteered to show me where to go had to shut down the other event and then walked me to the door and pointed at a gigantic building and said that my talk was in that building. And I had to run inside and make a decision. Do I go upstairs or downstairs? Because they just said, go inside and turn right. So I chose wrong. I went upstairs and somebody who was going to my talk was like, oh, you're in the wrong place. You look sweaty. So they led me to the correct area for my talk. And I was actually 3 minutes late, which is not bad for me. But this time I was like prepared. I was there like 20 minutes early. But my friend Nick decided to play a little prank on me. And as a result, I started seeing like blackness close in along like from the corners of my vision because I was trying to do the talk, but I was exhausted because I'd run there as quickly as I could from another building. So I almost passed out, and this talk was recorded. So if you watch it, I just want you to know that I was like fighting to not pass out for the first 5 minutes because of my friend's very funny prank. So, whoops. Will these classes ever be available online? Yes, we're working on it. So there's some stuff that we're going to put up on the wiki. There's some stuff that we can't put up on the wiki. But we're trying to get as much as we possibly can. It's kind of, we have DEF CON coming up, and unfortunately, my recovery is a secondary priority in all aspects of life. So as a result, I have to start preparing for that. And I will be getting some of the class materials up, including my talk, which was recorded. So if you want to see my talk, it will be put up on YouTube. When, I do not know, but I do know that it will be there. But yeah, it was really, really cool to be able to meet all these people. We had some of our newer instructors. This is Autumn instructing a class of like 25 people. And I have to say, with some of the younger people we work with, watching them do their first or second or third class and start to get more and more confident and meet so many people professionally through the conference is a huge success to me. I really enjoy mentoring people who have a natural talent for connecting with people. And Autumn in particular did a really exceptional job at this conference. So I just wanted to give her a shout out again. I think I gave her one on LinkedIn already for just being an exceptional instructor and really reaching a lot of people through the content that she taught on this particular trip. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this conference, aside from the fact that my talk, I think, went pretty well, and I connected with most of the people that I wanted to. So my talk at this conference was Hope for Microcontroller Education on a Budget. It was trying to reach out to instructors and educators who are trying to do their own classes or who are trying to like teach without either grant funding or maybe do their first classes and then apply for grant funding now that they've got some like photos and like procedure under their belts. So I think it went really well. Like a lot of people came up to me afterwards who were instructors and the exact people I wanted to talk to, people who were running hacker spaces, people running maker spaces looking for content. And I really enjoyed those conversations. I think that a lot of people wanted to know, you know, with $50, with $100, like, could you actually teach a class of 25 people something meaningful? And the answer, I think, is yes. So I presented a lot of different things you can do for a very, very low cost. And I'm going to keep updating this talk, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as people are interested in it. It's not like a talk that, like, you know, has the entire room packed out or whatever. I mean, it has been. Actually, I did a variant of the talk that I think like did maybe a little stronger in attendance, but the specificity for which I was able to like match people and like talk to people who really did have this exact problem that my experience was helpful for was really cool. I really enjoyed it. All right. Am I going to DEF CON this year? Yes, I am going to DEF CON this year, and I'm already very stressed out about it. So aside from trying to recover, I'm also trying to work with IoT Village, who is fantastic, very chill, wonderful people to work with. But I need to get a bunch of stuff into them, and I need to make sure that everything is taken care of to make sure that people can find us and have a good experience at DEF CON. So we're taking a step back, at least is the plan so far, from the vendor space, which we have been in for the last 4 years. We've worked at the Hack5 booth. We have worked at the, oh my God, Hacker Warehouse booth. And it's been an incredible experience, but I would like to have a little bit more freedom over our own space. We're very independent now as like a little outside team. Like we go and we really like create some fantastic events at some of these conferences, and the ability to meet so many people and cycle them in and teach them something unique and cool is something that we've gotten really good at. So if I can take advantage of that at DEF CON and I can make it so that I meet like 200 people, you know, more, like I feel like that is a good opportunity to get them to learn not only a lot from us, but also just like connect with us. If they watch the show, a lot of people came up to us at Hope and said that either like Nullbyte was a major part of the inspiration for their career, or that, you know, they just really appreciated it and it made them feel closer to the content. Even when I was doing the Qatari like ROTC soldering class, like a couple of those dudes were just like, hey, I used to watch your show. And that was really cool. So a lot of people reached out to me and talked to me at the conference. And I was not wearing a mask for once. So it was a lot easier to recognize. So that's the last time that happens because I feel terrible. But it was really cool to get to just really see how many people recognize me when I'm not wearing a mask, because it's been that way for the last several years. And a lot of people had really inspiring and cool stories where like I didn't know that the YouTube channel I made with my friend David was going to be something that resonated with so many people further down the line. So yeah, I was just blown away by how many people came up to me and had like a cool or interesting story, or were just like very like interesting and sensible people, like people who like really had like some interesting shared perspectives, and like just asked me questions about what it's like to be like famous in like a niche like area, like be it like, you know, a YouTube like person. So I also might have mentioned that I am attempting to publish another episode on the Nullbyte channel, and that was proceeding along very smoothly until this happened. So I have not been able to film, and of course I also got my camera person sick. I have teamed up with the original video producer for Nullbyte, and I instantly almost killed him with COVID. So he is currently suffering. Hopefully he's going to be feeling better in the next couple of days. But as a result, I have unfortunately had to pause the Raspberry Pi episode that I was making for Nullbyte. But it was cool to be able to tell people that hopefully in the near future, I will be able to make some more content on that channel. So as soon as I'm feeling a little bit better, then I will definitely give you guys an update as to how the next Nullbyte episode is going. Eat raw garlic. It will give you energy. You know, yes, I am so dehydrated. I couldn't keep anything down yesterday, so I have not really eaten, and I am very dehydrated. So I'm going to go. That's pretty much all I had to talk about Hope anyway. But I mostly just wanted to say, like, it was really fantastic to just meet so many people who had taken something away from any one of the episodes that I've done and used it to do something meaningful for their own lives. Like, that was really cool to hear. Like, sometimes you work in a void and like you don't really interact with the people because like the comment section of Nullbyte is crazy, right? Like, you're not going to be dumping your life story like on like the Nullbyte comment section. But like, if you happen to see me, a lot of people have told me, you know, what changed for them, or what they applied, or like how something that I taught them like actually got them into something that they are currently pursuing and really love. So that was really cool. And I just want to thank everybody that came up and talked to me, except whoever gave me COVID. All of you were wonderful. And it was really across the age spectrum as well. We had like very, very young people who had discovered my channel and wanted and demanded to know like why I wasn't updating it. And a lot of people who did know the Security Forward channel, and also a couple of Varonis fans out there, which was kind of cool that Varonis like sent me out there. And then instantly when I introduced myself as a Varonis employee, several people there were Varonis customers, and they were appreciative to see us out there doing things at these conferences that like vendors just usually don't go to. So big shout out to Varonis for sending me to this conference. It's my favorite part of this job to get to go and, you know, meet like 160 people in the context of teaching them something that maybe has an impact on their career, or maybe, you know, has like an impact on, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I'm very sick right now, so I'm going to be going, but it was wonderful connecting with everybody at Hope. I wanted to say hello to everybody on the stream and just talk a little bit about the conference before too much time goes by. And I will see you all next week on Wednesday, where I have another Q&A stream planned, and hopefully come up with some sort of solution to the streaming problem on Twitter. All right, everyone. I guess Killian never made it today. It's okay. He deserves it. He went to, while I have been running a very, very high fever, he went to North Carolina, which is kind of sounds like it's similar to running a very, very high fever. So yeah, I hope that he is feeling well and that he is relaxing, because we all need that. All right. Thank you, everyone. It was wonderful seeing all of you again. And I should be back on Wednesday, back on the old set and out of whatever this is very soon. All right. Goodbye, everyone.